Hey, yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Cheap Truth YouTube channel. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Thanks again, once again, for checking in with the Cheap Truth. As always, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop a like on this video before you leave, and also leave a comment down in the comment section below. So, hello to everybody. Welcome back. Got another video for you guys today. We are going to be taking our talents to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, man. So, there is this teacher named Christy Gilpin, and she is being charged with a felony for child cruelty. She ended up making a 6-year-old girl clean up her own feces. Yes, you heard that right. She made her clean up her own feces. Apparently, this little girl had a dairy allergy, and she ended up consuming some dairy, some milk or something, and she ended up basically pooping on herself. And the lady made her clean it up. So, yeah, crazy stuff going on here. But I'm going to play this news clip, and then, as always, we gonna talk about it.
Christy Gilpin is facing a felony charge tonight of cruelty to a juvenile, charged for an incident that allegedly happened at school in January, involving the very children she spent a career working for.
It's devastated her. I mean, she is just a rock star teacher. She's one of the best. My phone has been ringing off the hook with support. I understand 300 people showed up in support of her last night. So she's devastated. She's very upset about this.
Attorney John McClendon is representing Gilpin. Gilpin is facing a child cruelty charge after Jamisha Augustine says her daughter was forced to clean up her feces after having an accident at school. Augustine says her daughter has a dairy allergy and drank milk at school, causing her to defecate on herself. McClendon paints a different picture and says the child had no dairy that day.
This is not a child that was sick. This is a child that was engaging in bad behavior. She was brought in as a disciplinary procedure and told her, you need to clean up. It wasn't a lot to clean up. She was given the proper wipes to do it, and she cleaned it up. And that was the end of it.
Zachary police told the WAFBI team Monday they took statements and used surveillance video from the day of the incident at Rollins Place Elementary as part of their investigation.
She went to the bathroom, and maybe it had an accident in her pants, but she went to the bathroom, was escorted there by someone else. And while she was in there, you know, she did what she did by smearing it on the walls and on the floor.
McClendon added the stories out in the public have been grossly misrepresented. Augustine's lawyer, Ron Haley, fired back against those allegations.
What I can say to those who think this is fabricated, do you think the Zachary Police Department, after doing an extensive investigation, is going to go as far as to get a felony warrant for someone's arrest if this arrest is made off of gross misrepresentations? I could tell you that it's not. I could tell you this is done based on interviews. I could tell you this is done based on surveillance footage. So this is not just taking a mother's word or a child's word for this and running amok. That is not what happened here.
McClendon told the I-Team today Gilpin is still working for the school system, despite the criminal investigation and her arrest.
She is still employed there, just in a different capacity and a different location.
And so she's currently being paid and she's still reporting to work?
Yes.
If this was an adult working at a nursing home and was arrested for cruelty to the infirm, do you think the best job for her or that person would be to go just to another nursing home? Absolutely not. If this was a person working at a bank accused of bank fraud or felony theft by writing worthless checks, do you think it's appropriate for that person to be removed from one particular branch and then taken to another different branch? This is absolutely ridiculous.
Eugene Collins, the former Baton Rouge NAACP president, has been active with this case after the mother, Augustine, began getting pushback in the community. He says the child went through a forensic interview, which was also used to arrive at the decision for criminal charges.
This was wrong to do to a child, and now we're looking at charges, a felony warrant filed, right? This teacher turned herself in, as well as this department investigated and arrested a high-level administrator at a school system in the Deep South. If that's not enough for you, then you just don't want to see the right side of this.
McClendon says he believes his client will be exonerated.
It's going to be a blemish on her record until we can get this cleared up. You know, somebody with a spotless record now being accused of this, wrongfully accused of this. And so we're going to go through the proper channels and we're going to get this all cleaned up.
All right, so I also want to read some of this article off to you guys. I think it does a pretty good job at kind of giving you some more background and some additional context as to what happened and how it happened and when it happened, I guess. So keep in mind that this whole situation transpired in January of this year. And so they're just now kind of, I guess, quote unquote, completing the investigation and arresting her and charging her with something. So it says right here, Jamisha Augustine said her daughter has a dairy allergy, but despite this, she drank milk for breakfast at Rollins Place Elementary School and became sick almost immediately. Says Augustine remembers filling out forms, sending in doctor notes, all that to the school. And then it says here, the mom said after drinking the milk, her daughter used the bathroom multiple times, but eventually her teacher stopped letting her go. She asked her teacher to go to the restroom, but she said no because she went too many times. The 6-year-old ended up defecating on herself and then was forced to clean up the mess. So upon her going to the office after having an accident, the principal told her she was too big to be having accidents on herself, Augustine said. The principal told Augustine that the child needed a form of discipline for the accident. I said, what was the point of making her clean that up? Do y'all have janitors? She said they do have janitors, but she needed a form of discipline, Augustine said. Whoa, okay. I'm saying, how can you punish her for having an accident? Ben, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name, the superintendent of Zachary Community Schools, said he does not condone the behavior of the teacher and principal. So even the superintendent here is saying that this shit is wrong. Says here, you learn from mistakes. You take ownership, accept them, and try to do what's right by the child and parent. In hindsight, they realized that was not an appropriate step. We do have safety precautions that we have to abide by. And again, a child should never be put in that situation to have to deal with that. Following the situation, the guy's name that I can't pronounce said the adults have been retrained. The good old, we'll just give them more training. The police just beat the hell out this person, man. So you know what we need to do? We need to just give them more training so they don't beat the holy hell out of somebody. Anyway, sorry. Got off on a tangent there. But he also says students with food allergies are always adhered to. We have many students who have allergies and dietary restrictions, and that's something the cafeteria staff does well with to make sure that they follow those rules. So if there's a dietary restriction on file, they follow that closely. The school system Augustine called the situation irresponsible, hazardous, disgraceful, and really pathetic. School system called her and offered a formal apology, but she believes actions speak louder than words. You should send a janitor in with the proper equipment, Augustine said, but a 6-year-old kid, you are going to make them clean up poop without gloves. It's disgraceful and should not have gone on in our school. It should not have happened. And yes, I agree. This definitely shouldn't have happened. I will say this, man. I'm from the Deep South. Okay, I'm originally from Mississippi. So, and I'm from the Mississippi Delta. You feel me? I'm talking about country. Not from Louisiana, but I feel like we're close enough in proximity and we're the South. Okay, we are the South. I feel like I kind of have a good feel for the people down there. I think I'm pretty qualified to say, being a Southerner myself and being from where I'm from, that I kind of have a good beat on how people are wired. And let me just say that there are certain individuals and there are certain groups of individuals who are just wired a little differently, especially when it comes to things like punishment. I mean, even the lawmakers, they recently just passed a law down there in Louisiana where if you are caught raping, molesting, incest, anything under 13 years of age, you can be castrated, like physically castrated. And also just recently, they executed somebody via nitrogen. So only the 5th time in U.S. history that somebody was executed via nitrogen. And the other state that did it was Alabama. So go figure. Now, why am I saying all this? Because this lady, she doesn't think she did anything wrong. Okay, in her heart of hearts, she really thinks that she was doing a good deed, that she was laying down the law, and that she was doling out proper punishment to this 6-year-old girl for pooping on herself. Now, of course, she's wrong for this, and the authorities think that she's wrong as well. That's why they're charging her. To the lawyer's point there, hey, they did this investigation, and this thing happened in January, so they've been looking at it since, and they've come to the determination that this is a felony and that this was child abuse, basically. Now, one thing I ain't like the fact that her lawyer said this, man. And I get it. He's her lawyer. His job is to make his client look good. His job is to defend his client and spin a narrative and paint this picture that his client is innocent of all charges and will be exonerated. But all this stuff about, well, this wasn't about some innocent kid, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but he basically was saying this isn't about some innocent kid who has been done wrong. She was acting out. She was being disciplined because she was acting out, and then she proceeded to go to the bathroom and she smeared the feces everywhere. So she was given the proper equipment, given the proper wipe, so that made it okay. Nah. That didn't make it okay. Okay. So I was listening to this podcast the other day, and the guy said something that was so true. In life, dog, you just got to learn how to take a L. We all take L's. Sometimes, man, you just can't fight it. You just got to admit, hey, look here, I got to take that one on the chin. Okay, I got to take my lick and keep on trucking. In this case, with a 6-year-old child, you're not going to win that one. You're not going to win that one. They should have just took their L. Okay, if you want to call it that, just say, okay, she did this on herself. We're going to clean it up. And at that point, let's just say that she was acting out. Let's just go ahead and say that his theory was true, his story is true, that she was acting out and that she was just being bad. Even if she was doing that, you still have to say, all right, we're the adults in this situation. We got to clean this up. Let's just call the janitors and get them to clean it up. We'll call the parent. We'll tell them what happened. And if the parent want to say, okay, you know what? If she do that again, if she do anything like that, this is how you maneuver this situation. This is how you handle this situation. You make her ass clean it up. Now, if the parents say something like that, now that's a little different, okay? But under no circumstances can you make the executive decision to make this 6-year-old girl clean up her own mess. It just ain't gonna work out. You just gotta take that one on the chin, man. That's gonna be your best bet right there. Now you're in a whole heap of trouble for trying to prove a point. And then on top of that, your own superintendent said that you was wrong. So you don't even got him backing you. But yeah, man, you guys let me know what you think about this situation. Was the teacher right in what she did, or was she wrong for what she did? Drop a comment down in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop a like before you leave. And I will talk to you guys next time, man. So as always, count your blessings, not your problems. I'm out. Peace.